Is one turntable enough to learn how to scratch? Let's talk about that right now. This is Share the Knowledge. This is the Share the Knowledge podcast for DJs. So since we're on the subject, and I just talked about how I like to incorporate turntablism into my sets, I see a question that has to do with that. And the question is one turntable enough to learn how to scratch? And what do you think about a controller turntable combination? So the answer is yes, most definitely. Now, if you only have a controller right now, you can learn how to scratch on that controller as well. That's true, especially when it comes to basic scratches. You can learn those scratches on any controller. Now, if we're talking about turntablism and you want to go into more advanced techniques and want to actually get a real feel for it, and emphasis on that word feel, then a turntable is the only way to go. The reason is the moving platter, of course. That moving platter is going to add something to the scratches. It's going to trigger muscle memory, and it's going to help you in a way that allows you to also play on controllers better than if you only practice on controllers. And I've seen these comments many times when I did videos with controllers, people telling me like, I have that controller. How are you able to do that? That is because I was schooled on turntables. I taught myself how to scratch on turntables. That feeling is always with me. So even if I use a controller, I still apply that and it helps. Now, if you just want to practice scratching techniques and you have a controller right now, you can start with that, but you can add one turntable and then practice with that turntable. You can practice both hands. You can have the turntable on one side, work with your right hand on the platter and left hand on the fader. You can move it to the other side, have your left hand on the platter, right hand on the fader, and that will help you out a lot. You have a lot of different controllers out now that will allow you to plug in turntables, have extra channels for those turntables. So yes, you can use one turntable, and yes, you can go for the controller turntable combo. Now, of course, do keep in mind, you can also, if you don't have a controller yet, look for a controller with moving platters. That will offer you that turntable feel, but you can still work it as a controller. So that is an option. Thanks for tuning in to one of my video clips from the Share the Knowledge podcast for DJs. If you want to check out the full episode, make sure you check the links in the description box down below to check me out on SoundCloud, Anchor, Apple, Google Podcast, Stitcher, you name it. If you want to ask a question for a future episode, you can do that here in the comment section, or check me out on Instagram. Every week I drop a topic where I'm asking for questions for a future episode of the podcast, so jump in there as well. If you're new to my YouTube channel, I do all sorts of DJ related tips and tricks, tutorial, Q&A videos, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Check out djTLM.com, and I'll be back soon with more videos, more podcasts, more good stuff. Peace.